Hello, dear friends. Natalia Radkevich. I am the Product Communications Manager of Siberian Wellness. I propose to talk about a very relevant and important topic. We will talk about the influence of sunlight, what photoaging is, and how we will never encounter this concept. We will talk about home care, about what products it is desirable to include in home care in the warm season, and in general, this is a pleasant cosmetic beauty topic. Sit comfortably and let's begin. I congratulate you on the beginning of summer. It's great because it's the most anticipated season. We spend more time outdoors, meet more with friends, relax, sit in a cafe, watch the beautiful blooming nature, enjoy its fruits. The warmth of the sun, fresh fruits and vegetables cheer us up and allow us to be more cheerful and energetic and joyful. We can say that in summer, just a good sunny day is enough for happiness. Beautiful weather in the morning is a guarantee of our excellent mood. Like any phenomenon, the sun has two sides. It has a positive effect if you receive ultraviolet in doses. Be careful and observe the basic principles of exposure to the sun. But there is also a negative side. If we do not think too much time in direct sunlight, let's find out why the sun is good for us and also talk about why it is dangerous. Remember that the safe hours for sun exposure are before noon. From the moment the sun is at its zenith, it is considered dangerous and can damage our skin by penetrating the deep layers of the skin. From 12 to 1600 hours it is advisable not to be in the sun. In some hot countries, there are even traditions to relax at a time when the sun is too aggressive. People do things indoors or take advantage of this forced break to sleep and recuperate. Of course, the sun is a symbol of life. It gives flowering and growth to everything on our planet. When we get moderate sunbathing, our immunity is strengthened. We feel cheerful and energized. We think faster and more actively. We feel younger and more energetic as the sun affects hormone production. We suffer less from colds. Our skin becomes pleasant, more elastic and dense, tone and blood circulation improve, and metabolism normalizes. We don't want junk fatty foods. We are switching to a plant-based diet, eating a lot of fiber from vegetables and fruits. It becomes easier to maintain good physical shape. Physical activity, walking, running, riding bicycles, scooters and roller skates, swimming increases. All this leads to the fact that we become more cheerful and energetic. We feel better and look better. But anything that becomes redundant usually turns from a plus to a minus. Let's imagine that we spend whole days in the sun and neglect safety rules. If we are exposed to the sun's rays during the hottest hours and do not use sunscreen and hats, our immunity, on the contrary, becomes worse. We may even feel herpes and skin problems return. The skin becomes drier, the stratum corneum thickens and pores become clogged. Instead of a bactericidal effect, the amount of inflammation on the skin increases. In addition, such a summer will promote new wrinkles and cause early aging in the long run. It is the overabundance of ultraviolet light and the love of a strong tan that leads to the appearance of age spots, wrinkles and early age-related changes after the age of 30. Usually, age-related skin changes occur at the age of 50. Therefore, it is in our interest to take the sun seriously and follow the rules of safe sun exposure, including the use of sunscreen with a high protection factor. What are the sun's rays? They seem to be the same. They either warm or burn. if you contact for too long. In fact, the sun's rays are distinguished by the wavelength of the shortest and most aggressive. These are UVC rays, but they do not penetrate the ozone layer, so we are not talking about them now. We are interested in rays that penetrate the ozone layer and affect the skin and the body. These include UVA rays. They have a long wave active at any time of the year, from dawn to dusk. We see their harm in the long-term perspective. They are able to penetrate even through the glass of the windows. You can see the effect of such rays on furniture that is constantly at the window in direct sunlight and changes color from this. Ultraviolet light is also able to penetrate clothing and fabrics. If we work near a window in hot weather, we will feel how the skin turns red. This is the thermal effect of rays. In the long term, these rays can damage elastin and collagen fibers, enhancing photoaging.
Они в долгосрочной перспективе способны повреждать коллагеновые эластиновые волокна и способствовать прогрессированию фотостарения. И лучи группы В, они более короткие, от них, наверное, проще защититься, потому что больше всего
Another type of UVB rays, they are shorter and easier to protect yourself from, because their concentration is highest from 12 to 1600 hours. It is at this time that they are most aggressive. They affect the upper stratum corneum of the skin and trigger an inflammatory response. Tanning is a manifestation of skin inflammation in response to solar radiation. To protect yourself from such rays, it is enough not to be under them during the active period from 12 to 1600 hours. It is from these rays that we first protect ourselves when we use sunscreen with a degree of protection of 30 or 50 on the beach and in the mountains so as not to burn. These rays lead to tanning or burning. If you exceed the safe time for exposure to the sun. On the slide you can see the face of one person from different sides. This is a fairly well-known photo of an elderly Italian man who has worked as a driver all his life. One side of his face was always turned to the sun and under the influence of active ultraviolet light had aged much more than the other half of his face. This is one person, one genetics, the same skin at the same age, but at the same time you can clearly trace how negatively ultraviolet radiation has affected. This is a prime example of aging photography. You may have already seen this photo on social media. Looking at this man, we understand that excess sun is really very harmful to our skin aesthetically and can cause serious diseases. Therefore, it is in our interest to protect the skin so that this does not happen. Another important nuance will be especially interesting for residents of large cities, where there are many manufacturing enterprises and cars. Pigmentation, which often occurs on the skin of city dwellers, is caused not only by ultraviolet radiation. The reason may also be urban pollution. Dust, dirt, heavy metals, and exhaust gases accumulate in the air. All this gets to the skin if it is not protected in any way, if it does not have a cream on it, which is a barrier protection between the air and our skin. The cream can be compared to a spacesuit. Without skin protection, it suffers very much. It becomes more vulnerable, sensitive, and sluggish and dull. Unhealthy, grayish tint appears, and pigmentation may also appear on it, caused not by ultraviolet light, but by urban pollution. Therefore, we can say that the day cream is a prevention of age-related changes in photoaging and pigmentation caused by urban pollution. It is better to let the waste products of big cities settle on cream and decorative cosmetics. How will they harm our naked skin? When going outside, always remember whether the skin of the face is dressed. Is
Выходя
it
на улицу,
protected?
всегда вспоминайте о
In
геле
order
для
to
мытья
delight you
лица,
more and longer with my health and
пожелательно
youth.
для того, чтобы больше и дольше радовать вас своим здоровьем и молодостью. И сейчас мы с вами поговорим о том, что есть в
And now we
ассортименте
will
Best
talk about what is in the
Siberian Wellness
assortment of Siberian Wellness to
для того,
prevent and
чтобы
slow down aging and
профилактировать и
protect the skin in
замедлять
the
и
summer.
защищать кожу
When we
от
are more outdoors, we walk
обратной
more
стороны
outdoors and more
в летний
skin is
период,
exposed and
когда мы
exposed to the
чаще
environment.
находимся на воздухе,
We will
больше
talk
гуляем
about
на
the new
улице
beautiful
и
SPF 50
больше
cream, which has
тела,
recently
больше
appeared in
кожи
the European range.
открыто
Let's talk
покрыто
about
кожей
what is
влияние
included in the
окружающей среды.
squad.
Вот
What
это классная
safety
новинка
filters are in
для
this
оформления
product?
с SPF 50,
How does the
появилась
cream
такая
feel on the
новинка в
skin?
портфолио
We build
Европы.
this cream in a beauty
Поговорим о том, что
routine.
вошло в состав, какие
You will find out when
замечательные
to
функции
apply the
есть в
cream
этом
and what
продукте,
morning and
какой
evening
по
care can
своим
consist of.
органолептическим свойствам.
I will
И
tell
также
you
мы
what you can do at home with
построим
your own
эту
hands to help your skin support it
бьюти-рутину,
in the
и вы
summer.
посмотрите, каково его место
Let's
и
start
из
with
чего
it.
может состоять утренний
He is the
вечерний
headliner
уход
of our meeting today.
дома своими руками.
I
Что вы
tried it
можете
and
сделать для
tested
того,
it.
чтобы помочь
It is
коже
produced
поддержать ее
exclusively for
температуру?
European countries where
Начнем мы
Siberian
с того,
Wellness is
сегодня
represented.
хедлайнер нашей встречи.
But I
Я
was
его
lucky,
попробовала,
the cream came to
протестировала. И
me,
пускай это
despite
не
the fact that
исключительно
I live
для
in Russia.
европейских стран,
The
где
cream
представлены
is
бренды
very
Siberian Wellness,
pleasant.
но мне повезло. Ко мне он приехал, несмотря на то, что я живу в России. Очень приятный. Если говорить про
If we talk about
вкусовость, она
fragrance, it is
все-таки
soft
такая
and
не
discreetly conveyed.
яркая.
At first, the
Наносится
cream
вначале,
seems
кажется,
quite
достаточно
thick, but at
густым,
the
но
same time it
при
is not
этом он
greasy,
нежный
easily
и
and quickly
легко
spreads over the
быстро
skin and
наносится
does
по
not leave
коже,
an oily
не
sheen.
оставляет жирного
And
блеска.
literally half a minute after applying
И
it, you can
буквально
do
через
decorative
полминуты
makeup.
можно делать
I
декоративный
have
макияж как в
combination
сезон
skin.
весенний,
In
если вы
summer, it is
любите
more
делать
oily.
макияж. У меня комбинированная летом более жирная кожа, поэтому когда я утром
After
поухаживаю
morning
за
care,
лицом,
I
я
applied
сделаю
this
крем
cream
после
and
него делаю
decorative makeup on
декоративный
top.
макияж.
I
Я
powdered
увлажняю
my
кожу, и
skin.
вот прошло уже, наверное,
It's been
часа
about 2
два
hours
с этого
already.
момента. Я
From
могу
that
сказать, что
moment
сильно
on,
кожа
we can say
жирнее
that
не
the
стала.
skin has not become
Но,
much oilier.
кстати, надо сказать,
By the
что
way, it
жирная
must be
кожа
said
более
that oily skin
благополучная
is
в плане
naturally better
защиты от
protected from
ультрафиолета, потому что
ultraviolet radiation because the
сальный
sebaceous
секрет, который
secretion that it produces
разрабатывается,
can be equated
тоже
to SPF 15.
вырабатывается и в
It
качестве
can be
защиты от
said that people
ультрафиолета.
with
То есть
oily
свежую
skin are
кожу с
more
сальным
protected from
секретом
the negative
можно
effects
приравнять
of
к
the
SPF
sun.
15. То есть
That is why the
можно
skin of
совершенно
residents
спокойно
of hot
использовать
regions
бьюти
is
больше
genetically more
защищенный
oily than that of residents
с
of cold
бьюти по
regions or
влиянию
temperate
солнца. И
continental
именно
climates.
поэтому у жителей очень жарких
Hence,
регионов
people with
кожа
drier
действительно
skin
более
explore
жирная,
thinking more
чем у
about
жителей
protecting the skin and using
холодных регионов
sunscreen regularly
и
to compensate for the lack of
умеренно
sebaceous secretion.
континентального климата.
Chemical or
Против людям с
physical
более сухой
filters in the
кожей
cream.
следует больше
In this
думать
cream,
и
we have
быстрее раньше
chemical
приобретать
filters.
кремы с SPF высоким
These are
для
next
того, чтобы
generation
компенсировать
filters.
нехватку сального секрета
Which filters belong to the old
химическими физическими
generation?
фильтрами в составе
They are
крема.
also called
Здесь в этом
physical.
креме у нас химические
There are
фильтры.
only two of
Это фильтры
them.
нового поколения.
These are titanium
Это
dioxide
такое
and
старое
silicon
поколение, новое
oxide.
поколение. То есть
Such
изначально
filters work on the
они
principle of
делятся
ray
на химические и
reflection.
физические.
Quite heavy,
Физические
so they
гладкие,
thicken the
кстати, там
texture of creams and
секреты,
often whiten the skin,
они
so they are noticeable on the skin.
отражают солнечные
Such
лучи.
filters also
Но
give
дело
the
в том,
feeling
что
of a
эти
film on the
фильтры
skin,
достаточно
create a greenhouse
тяжелые, то
effect.
есть они загущают текстуру
Therefore, they are
кожи
not very
и часто
comfortable for urban use.
невыделываются, то есть заметны на коже,
Chemical
используя
filters
какие-нибудь
absorb the
пленку,
sun's rays.
парника, то есть они не очень
And there
комфортны для
is
городского использования.
filters that selectively
Химические
work
фильтры
with different
поглощают
groups of rays.
солнечные лучи, причем есть
And there are
фильтры,
mixed filters that
делаются из
absorb rays of
полимера, есть
different
фильтры,
groups and
которые
enhance
используют
the
только
effects of other
полимер, а
filters.
есть смешанные фильтры,
What is
которые
interesting
работают
about modern chemical filters?
поглощают и лучи группы А, и лучи группы В, и усиливают действие других фильтров. Чем интересны, да, современные химические фильтры? Во-первых, они
They are less
меньше
consumed.
расходуются,
They work
они
longer,
дольше
therefore,
работают. То
in
есть в
urban
условиях
conditions,
города у
you
вас
do not
нет
need to often
необходимости
renew the
часто
cream on your
оставлять
face.
крем на
Our
лице.
reality is that we
Наша
put on
реальность
makeup for the
такова, что
whole day
когда мы с
when we
утра
leave the house in the
выходим из
morning.
дома,
We
где-то
don't
часов
have
с
the
20
ability
или
to
аж
wash off
завтра
makeup to
ухаживать за
renew our
кожей
sun
опять под
protection.
мейкап, у нас нет
Therefore,
возможности.
modern creams with a
Поэтому
protection factor
современные
contain chemical
кремы
filters
с
that act for a
фактором
long
защиты,
time.
они
Therefore, one application of the cream is enough for you to get to work in the morning and back from work in the evening without the need to renew the cream on the skin. What else is important? And these filters are quite light, they do not thicken the texture of creams too much. The cream remains light. There is no whitening effect. There is no feeling of film, heaviness, or any stickiness and grease. As a result, chemical filters are comfortable and effective. Surely you want to know what specific modern chemical filters are included in the composition of this product. For example, the Tinosorb S broad spectrum filter. It is very famous for its high efficiency and photostability. It protects the skin from the rays of both groups. This is very convenient, you will agree. It is both the prevention of burns, pigmentation, and photoaging. Its wide spectrum allows you to overlap the action of short and long beams. This filter does not break down under the influence of the sun and retains its effectiveness for a long time. But about safety, it is often used even in children's cosmetics, so it is not potentially dangerous. We are happy to use it, because this filter does not penetrate deep into the stratum corneum. In general, it is now actively used by many responsible brands. And the second filter is a modern filter, Juvenile T150. If you look at the composition of the product on the packaging, then the name of the filters may be written differently. If we talk about the name of the ingredient, it is ethyl hexyl triazone. What would you understand that there are no contradictions here? There are simply marketing filter names and chemical filter names that we, as manufacturers, put on our product packaging. These are high-efficiency chemical filters. It is also used in cosmetics to protect against short rays. Its advantage is that of all the modern chemical filters available on the market for UVB rays, it provides the best protection. A small amount of such a filter for it to be effective. It does not break down under the influence of the sun. It retains its protective properties for a long time and is fat-soluble. Therefore, if the skin sweats, it does not affect the quality of protection. This filter allows you to maintain a lightweight texture, unlike other generation filters. Another new generation filter that is effective against long beams. This is Juvenile A+. Its advantage is that it is one of the safest on the modern cosmetic market, and it is incredibly effective against UVA rays. It contributes to antioxidant protection and prevention of photoaging. It does not break down in light, is active for a long time, and is biodegradable. Therefore, it is welcome as part of cosmetic products. In addition to the combination of photostable filters, the cream contains panthenol. This component protects, softens, soothes, and repairs the skin. The cream contains a plant component betaine, which prevents moisture loss. There are vitamin E and plant extracts. For example, the extract of the plant metacassoside Centella asiatica, which perfectly restores the skin, reducing damage. We can say that the cream immediately prevents any damage that can occur from solar aggression or just in the air. The cream restores barrier properties and perfectly protects against ultraviolet radiation. The cream is light and comfortable, but it is important to remember that you still do not need to try to apply it too thin for the cream to be effective. When applying the cream to the face, do not forget about the ears, neck, décolleté, shoulders. If in your summer plumage these areas are open, You need to apply such a product some time before going outside, so that it has time to settle down and start working. And also do not forget about the eyelid area, where the skin is very thin. The best advice in the summer is to wear sunglasses that protect the skin of the eyelids and the cornea of the eye at the same time. Speaking of sunscreens with a high protection factor, it is important to mention that it is important to carefully and competently remove them from the skin after use. Because we have repeatedly said that they are stable, fat-soluble, and cannot be washed off with plain water. And our best recommendations after sunscreen has worked and protected your skin, in the evening it should be removed with such a cool product as hydrophilic oil. Hydrophilic oil is a wonderful product of evening cleansing. It will help to gently and delicately remove decorative cosmetics. The oil will wash off long-lasting eyeshadow and foundation, BB, boob cream. The oil will wash away long-lasting eyeshadows and foundation, BB cream, CC cream. Friends, sorry, I turned off the camera to improve the quality of the connection and will continue without the camera. Also, the hydrophilic oil will dissolve chemical filters and remove them from the skin to keep it clean and velvety. The oil will help maintain clean pores, prevent rashes and blackheads. The oil is very comfortable and pleasant to use. An important nuance that you need to remember: oils is squeezed out on dry hands and on a dry face with makeup and cream. You apply this product and massage until the makeup is almost completely dissolved. If you're not wearing makeup, simply massage your face for at least 30 seconds to dissolve oil-soluble pollution and sunscreen. After that, do you add a little water? The product will turn into an emulsion and will be very easily washed off with the skin, without leaving an unpleasant sticky film. The oil is exclusively natural in its composition. It contains vegetable oils, essential oils, and is able to delicately and gently care for the skin. You can even make the massage itself light. The main thing to remember is that the product should not be on the skin for more than a minute and a half. You get clean, bourgeois skin, and already at this stage you can complete the cleansing. Is it possible to enhance the effectiveness of cleansing with two products? I am a supporter of a two-stage cleansing in the evening. I use hydrophilic oil to remove makeup. I use face opener for further cleansing in the second stage. I also use this foam for morning cleansing. Here is this product. Moisturizing foam for cleansing. It can enhance the quality of cleansing for oily and combination and problem skin. If you love makeup or if you actively use a cream with a high protection factor, then the two-step cleansing system is for you. In the morning, we do not need hydrophilic oil, since there is no makeup and evening creams do not contain hard-to-rinse sunscreens. Therefore, for morning washing, we need such a mild, delicate product as a moisturizing foam. Just press the dispenser, distribute the foam with wet palms over the face, massage the skin and rinse. Why is it not enough to wash your face with water alone in the morning?
Она проста, нажимаете на дозатор, распределяете на ладошки влажные, да, массируете кожу и смываете. Почему утром мало воды? Да, нужно все-таки очищающее
We
средство.
need cleansers because at night sebaceous secretion continues to be secreted and dead cells appear on the skin. All this is the same fat soluble and you need to add a cleansing product, since water alone cannot cope. If you wash your face once in the morning with just water, nothing terrible will happen to your skin. But you should not do this regularly. In the morning, it is recommended to have a gentle cleanser so that the skin is radiant and less clogged pores. This product is ideal for such easy cleansing. It contains plant extracts and hydrolates. These are plant juices, aloe,
растительные экстракты
chamomile,
и
verbena.
гидролаты, то есть это соки растений, да, алоэ, ромашки, вербены, которые выравнивают
Thanks to
тон,
this, the tone
которые
and skin are evened
тонизируют,
out, toned
успокаивают
and
кожу, а
soothed.
также есть молочная
There is
кислота,
also
которая как
lactic
раз
acid,
увлажняет и
which perfectly
способствует росту
moisturizes and helps
пищеварительной
to
железы
easily
и кожи.
exfoliate dead cells.
Таким
Thus,
образом,
in the
вот
morning we will have only
только
foam for
для
cleansing, and in the evening
очищения, а
hydrophilic oil
вечером
and
нам будет
foam.
гидрофильное масло
Deep
плюс крем.
cleansing is also an important story.
Глубокое очищение.
If
Тоже
we want the
важная
skin to
история,
be
если
more
мы
radiant
хотим,
and even.
чтобы кожа была более сияющей и ровной. То есть это
This prevention of
профилактирование
pigmentation, reduction of
пигментации,
spots,
уменьшение
post-acne, and
пятнышек,
even tone.
постакне,
Deep cleansing in
тон
general
и в
increases the
целом
effectiveness of your
увеличивает
skincare routine because other
эффективность
skin
вашего
products will
ухода.
penetrate
Потому что
deeper.
все, что вы
It
наносите
does
на
not
кожу,
settle
будет
on dead
проникать глубже,
particles.
а не оседать на отмерших роговых частичках. И то,
Here
что
is the
перед вами, это
softest,
самый
most
мягкий,
delicate option for
деликатный
deep
вариант
exfoliation,
глубокого
enzyme peeling.
смешивания. Это энзимный
He is
пилинг.
not
Он
aggressive.
не агрессивный.
There are no
Здесь нет
mechanical abrasives
таких
with texture,
механических
grains, or
абразивов,
sand.
таких частичек,
There
которые
are
могут
no
изменить
aggressive
железо
acids
кожи.
here.
И даже
The
нет
peeling contains
агрессивных
pomegranate
кислот. Здесь
enzymes.
энзимы граната,
These are
то есть
pomegranate enzymes that
ферменты
loosen the epidermis very
граната,
gently and
которые
dissolve the
очень
bonds between
мягко
cells.
разрыхляют
Yes,
эпидермис,
it is even
растворяют
milder
связывающие
than fruit
клеточные
acids, so peeling is suitable even for
это
the most
даже мягче,
sensitive
чем
skin.
фруктовые кислоты,
It is suitable for summer
поэтому
use,
даже для
as it
самой
does not increase
чувствительной кожи, для тех, кто
photosensitivity and does
летние
not
склонны
damage the
были,
protective
не
barrier.
повышает
It can be
фоточувствительность, не
used
повреждает
anytime and
пищеварительный
anywhere at
тракт,
absolutely
можно
any
использовать
age.
всегда и
On
везде,
a regular
для абсолютно
basis, you
любого
can use this
возраста.
product up to
По
3 times a
регулярности вы
week in
можете
the
использовать
evening.
этот продукт
Deep
2-3
cleansing is
раза
an
в
evening
неделю
treatment so
вечером.
that the skin can
Все это
recover
в
overnight and
течение
strengthen
такой
its
вечерней
barrier
процедуры,
functions.
для того, чтобы за ночь кожа
Peeling
могла
is used after
восстановиться
cleansing the
и
skin of makeup and urban
усилить свои барьерные
impurities.
функции.
On
2-3
dry,
раза в
clean
неделю
skin, we apply the peel for
после
20 minutes and then
очищения
rinse with
кожи от
water.
макияжа и городских
Then apply the
загрязнений
serum and our
на
night
сухую
remedy.
чистую кожу мы наносим энзимный пилинг, оставляем его на 15-20 минут и затем смываем водичкой, затем уже наносим сыворотку и наше ночное средство. Что
What
еще
else can
можно
be
летом
recommended in the summer to keep the
рекомендовать
skin
для того,
even with
чтобы
a light
кожа
tone?
оставалась ровной, с
And
тоновым
this was the
рельефом
prevention of
и
photoaging.
профилактирование фотостарения?
This is a
Какой продукт
whitening face
активирует
mask.
ситуацию лица?
The product can be
Продукт
used as a
или как
mask,
маска.
removing
Здесь как
residue after
замывать
application,
или
and then
смывать
applying
и
a
затем
night
наносить свой
cream.
привычный ночной крем.
But if you're
Если вы
generally
в
working
целом
on brightening
придерживаетесь
your tone
эффективного
and
тона
struggling with
и
pigmentation, you can use
работаете
the mask as a
все-таки с
course
пигментацией,
instead
то
of a night
можете маску
cream.
использовать курсом вместо
Cleanse the
ночного
skin,
крема.
apply a serum, and
Стандартный
then apply
принцип:
the
утром
mask
вы
like a night
очистили,
cream. Leave it
нанесли
on the skin
сыворотку,
until
о которой мы
morning.
сейчас тоже поговорим, и
This can
затем
be done
наносите
4 to
маску,
8
а
weeks
после
on a
усложнения
daily
необходимо наносить
basis.
ночной крем и оставляете
The
на ночь
mask
до утра.
contains
Это можно
niacinamide,
делать в
which
течение
protects the
4-8
skin, improves
недель
its barrier
с курсом
functions,
регулярного
evens out the
ежедневного
tone, and
использования.
works against
В маске содержится
pigmentation.
ниацинамид, который
In
защищает
general,
кожу
this
от
is an
мягкой барьерной
excellent
функции
component
и
that is
выравнивает
effective
тон,
in
и
different
работает
directions.
против пигментации.
One of the most
И в
popular
целом это
components
прекрасный
in
продукт,
modern
который
cosmetics
эффективен
because it has
для
a wide
многих
range of
из
action.
самых
The
востребованных
mask also contains
компонентов повседневной
arbutin, which
косметики,
works against
потому что
excessive
имеет широкое
production.
действие. А также
Melanin
содержит
whitens
гидрофилин,
freckles,
который
age
как раз
spots,
работает
and helps
против
eliminate post-acne spots
загрязнений
that appear at
меланина,
the site of
давления и
inflammation after
вспышки,
healing.
пигментные пятна и помогает устранять пятнышки постакне. То есть те пятнышки пигментации, которые появляются после того, как на этом месте было воспаление. Поскольку
Niacinamide and
арбутин и
arbutin are quite
ниацинамид
comfortable and soft
достаточно
components,
комфортные и
so the
мягкие
effect of using the
компоненты,
mask will be
то
gradual.
эффект от маски и от ее использования будет очень постепенным. И вам нужно
Do you need to
вооружиться
arm
терпением.
yourself with
Еще
patience?
больше эффективности
You
вы
will achieve
добьетесь,
even
если
greater
будете
effectiveness if you use peeling in
комплексно с
combination with
этой
this
маской
mask.
использовать предыдущий продукт, энзимный пилинг. Он будет усиливать
It
эффективность
will enhance the effectiveness of the
предыдущей маски.
mask.
То есть 2-3 раза в неделю
Scheme of use:
пилинг
up
и
to 3
каждый вечер
times a week
смывать
peeling
с
and
кожи
every evening
энзимный
whitening mask instead of night cream.
вместо ночного крема. И также
Also,
утром
in
не
the
забывайте
morning,
про SPF
do not
50.
forget about
Если
sunscreen with a high protection
главная цель —
factor.
это уменьшение и
Let's
профилактирование
summarize.
пигментации, то
If
ваша
your main
стратегия
goal is to reduce
UV-ретина
or prevent
должна строиться вокруг трех
pigmentation,
главных
your
продуктов.
summer care
Это
routine should be built
SPF
around
50,
3 main products:
это пилинг самый мягкий и
sunscreen
безопасный,
during the
повышающий
day,
фоточувствительность, то есть
gentle
энзимный пилинг
peeling
2-3
up to
раза в
3
неделю
times
вечером
a week in the
и
evening,
отбеливающая маска
and a
каждый день с
staking
мылом
mask as a night
курсом в
cream.
течение на
The
ощупь,
course should be carried out from 1 to 3
если
months.
вы ощущаете
If the
маsk
mask
как
seems too
слишком
dense and
плотный,
concentrated to
или
you,
же
or
замечаете,
you
что он
notice that
продвигает
it
пор,
clogs the
вы
pores,
можете
you can
использовать
use the
сиденье
mask
тонус.
in the
Например, вы
classic
просто
way,
нанесли на
leaving
20
it on the
30 минут
skin for
сиденье
up
остатки
to
воды
30
себе
minutes.
и нанесли комфортный
After
маsk,
use,
ночной
the
крем.
remnants of
Что
the
это может
mask are
сделать с
washed
кустарением?
off and a night cream is
Если
applied.
ваша стратегия — это
What
профилактирование,
kind
то
of
есть вы
cream can
не
it be?
страдаете от пигментных пятен,
If your
но
strategy
знаете о
is
вреде
pigmentation
ультрафиолета,
prevention
то
and UV
используйте
protection,
днем
you can
кремируйте
support
лицо,
active skin
вечером вы
repair with a
можете
peptide renewal night
поддерживать
cream.
активное
It can be
восстановление
recommended to
кожи,
everyone
больше
over the age of
обновляете
20 to
ночной крем.
reduce the signs of aging and
Его
to
можно
slow down
применять
the rate
всем
of
возрастом
aging.
после 20 лет
It
для
contains
улучшения
natural
длительного старения, для
peptides.
замедления темпов старения.
This is a
Он содержит
complex of
натуральные вкусы,
Siberian cedar
сочетается
and
смесь
ginseng.
сибирского
It
кедра
helps
и
to
сибирского
increase the
женьшеня.
production of the
Он
skin's own
способствует
elastin
замедлению
and
и укреплению
collagen.
активности выработки
There is
собственного
also a
коллагена и эластина
complex that
кожи.
makes the
Также
skin
здесь
more
есть антиоксиданты,
energetic, and
эффективный
all
метаболизм
processes
клеток
proceed
пищеварения, то есть
faster
все
and
процессы
better.
протекают быстрее и лучше. Здесь есть
The cream
ниацинамид,
contains
полезен,
niacinamide,
причем
which is
он
useful
работает
and
на
works
таких гидрокортикоидах, которые
cumulatively.
есть у нас в разных
It's great that it is
продуктах,
in
это
different
повышает его
products.
концентрацию и,
This
соответственно,
increases its
эффект на
concentration
поверхность
and,
кожи. И,
accordingly, the
конечно же, в
effect that it
помощь
gives on
первым
our
смазкам
skin.
здесь используется
Of
масло
course,
ши,
a night
масло
cream cannot be
авокадо,
without
абсолютно
oils.
незутное и бессрочно
Maslashi and
используемое. Масла
avocado,
мы,
rapeseed, and sesame
наверное,
oil are
его
used
имеете в виду
here.
ночью, чтобы
Why do we need
на коже
oils in
были
the
растительные
cream?
масла. Но дело в том,
Many people think it's the
что
skin.
ночью наша кожа
The fact
быстрее
is
и
that at night
интенсивнее
our
теряет
skin loses
влагу
moisture
и
faster and more
иммунную кислород. Это
intensively.
называется трансэпидермальная
We
потеря
remember
влаги.
that youth is
И ночью
hydration.
она активизируется
The
до
younger we
включения.
are, the
В
greater
этом
the amount
секрет.
of moisture in our
Важнее всего,
body
что
and in our
находится
skin.
большее
And
количество
old
влаги
age is
в нашем
dryness.
организме, в нашей коже. А
Therefore,
старость —
you
это
need to
сырость.
save moisture
Поэтому
in the
нашу
body, drink
влагу
enough fluids.
бережем, пьем достаточное
Moisture in the
количество
skin comes from an
жидкости,
internal
такой
source, and our task is to
влага в коже —
simultaneously
источник
get
окисления,
hydration from
источник.
cosmetic products and protect
И наша
ourselves from losing
задача
our
не
own
только
moisture.
изменение в составе
Therefore,
косметических
the cream
продуктов, но
contains a
и
complex of
защита
light
от
oils,
потери
which are
собственной
very
влаги.
comfortable on the
Поэтому
skin.
вот этот комплекс
They add
легких, масляных и
elasticity,
очень комфортно
velvetiness,
ощущается на
hydration to
коже.
the skin, and retain
Это
moisture.
плюс к
Try this
эластичности
very
и
pleasant and
взаимодействие,
comfortable cream that is suitable
увлажнению
for
и
any skin
задержанию
type.
влаги.
The cream has a
Попробуйте, это очень
convenient
приятный
dispenser that
крем,
restricts the
который
direct
подходит для
access of
любого типа
oxygen.
кожи.
The
И
product
удобный
contains a
дизайн,
minimum amount of
поэтому здесь нет прямого
preservatives.
доступа кислорода и используется минимальное количество сохраняющих консервантов в составе продукта.
Another
И
useful
еще
product for
один
summer care
полезный
is
для
the
летнего
regenerating
лечения
essence
продукт —
with
это
niacinamide.
восстанавливающая эссенция
This
с
component is
ниацинамидом.
used in a very good
Ниацинамид в очень
concentration of
хорошей
10%.
концентрации,
Unlike
10%.
similar products,
И в
there is no
отличие
zinc
от
on the modern market, which is able to
обычных
dry out
продуктов
the
на
skin.
современном рынке, здесь нет, например, цинка, который способен подсушивать. То есть мы берем сильный
This
черный
serum can be
ниацинамид
recommended for
и
those who work
гидратируем
against
очень
inflammatory skin
питьем
imperfections
и
and
работает
acne.
против акне, против воспалений и высыпаний. Ниацинамид очень хорошо успокаивает
Niacinamide
кожу
is
и
very good,
улучшает
soothes the skin, and improves the composition of
выдражает
sebaceous
случаев меньше
secretions.
забитых пор, меньше
As
черных
a
точек,
result,
меньше
we get
воспалений.
fewer clogged
Но
pores,
также ниацинамид
blackheads,
эффективен
and
и
inflammation.
для зрелой кожи,
On the other
для того,
hand,
чтобы
this
лучше
component is
поддерживать
effective for
иммунитет,
mature skin
усилить
to improve
выработку
barrier
собственных
functions,
церамидов,
enhance
которые
the production of
застилают
its own
поверхность кожи
ceramides,
и обеспечивают
which cover the
защитный
surface
барьер.
of the skin and
Также
provide it
ниацинамид
with a
помогает
protective
укреплять типы
barrier.
сосудов,
It also helps to
выравнивает
strengthen the
поры,
walls of blood
борется
vessels,
с
evens out
излишней
the
выработкой
tone, and fights
меланина, то есть
excessive melanin
профилактирует
production.
гипопигментацию. В
All
общем,
in
можно
all,
сказать,
we can
что
say that it
это
is a super
такая
serum suitable for a huge number of
суперсыворотка,
men and
содержащая
women who are
огромное
interested in the
количество
health and beauty of
женщин,
the
которые
skin.
заинтересованы в
It
здоровье
is
и красоте
enhanced with
кожи.
lacquered tinder
Она усилена
extract.
экстрактом
This is the Siberian
гидрокорикоидов,
mushroom, which is an
сибирский
excellent
гриб,
antibacterial
который
component,
является
a very strong
прекрасным
antioxidant,
антибактериальным
and an excellent
компонентом,
source of bioavailable Germany.
антиоксидантом очень сильным и великолепным источником биодоступного Германии. И экстракт центелла —
The
это растение,
composition
которое
also
растут
contains Centella
в азиатской
asiatica,
косметике
which is very
за
popular in
спокойствием летних, то
European
есть
and Asian
прекрасно подходит
cosmetics
там,
for its
прекрасно защищает
regenerating
кожу, если есть
properties.
повреждения, если есть
It perfectly
фоторанки после
restores the
акне.
barrier properties
Усиленно
of the
поддерживает
skin and
также центелла
perfectly heals the skin
способствует
if there are
выработке
injuries or
антиоксидантов
post-acne
антиоксидантов.
wounds.
Поэтому это тоже
It
замечательный
also
компонент,
promotes
который
the
успокаивает
production of type
мать
3
рождения
здоровой
collagen.
collagen or youth
Цинк
collagen.
используется
Therefore, it is also a wonderful component that soothes, relieves redness, and restores the skin. The serum is used either once a day in the evening or twice a day in the morning and evening. Can be used as a course or on a regular basis. Are there any strict recommendations? Try the product. If you see results, you can use the serum on a regular basis. Once again, niacinamides are one of the key components of care cosmetics. Thus, your morning care system will be simple and concise and will consist of 3 products. We woke up, smiled, washed our faces. Moisturizers foam and pat dry with a towel, apply serum, and apply sunscreen to dried skin. Then you can do makeup, or go this way, if you are not a supporter of decorative cosmetics. In the evening, the care scheme is a little more complicated. Let me remind you that in the morning and during the day, care is aimed at protection, and in the evening, care is aimed at recovery. Therefore, the better you feed your skin in the evening, the more varied your evening care will be, the better. The skin will recover in the evening. By the way, the best time to recover is from 2000 hours to 3 in the morning. If you're using sunscreen or makeup, you'll need a makeup product. For this purpose, we offer hydrophilic oil. When you have removed the remnants of makeup and chemical filters, refresh the skin again with foam. After a 2-stage cleansing, 3 times a week, we do a deep cleansing with peeling. Leave it on the skin for 20 minutes, rinse off and continue our evening care with a serum. And after it, depending on your needs, apply a night cream or whitening mask as a cream. Alternative options are to use the mask in the classic way several times a week. In general, you can see that you can work with this minimum set of products. You can adjust your habits, your needs, your financial capabilities to yourself. In this way, friends, we can say that the condition of our skin and how the summer will go for it is in our own hands. I wish you to get only pleasant emotions, positivity, and benefits from the warm season. Keep your skin healthy and beautiful with Siberian Wellness Cosmetics. Thank you very much for your attention.